Hello and welcome to our walk around London. Now, the best way to see London is without doubt on foot and walking around. Today we're doing a walk which is called the Camden Loop of the Queen's Jubilee Walk, which is a series of 5 walks which you can do independently, or you can do it as one big walk, which becomes a 17 miler. Yeah, that's a biggie. But you could certainly do it in a day, take in lots of London and be shattered afterwards. So we've broken it down into 5 different pieces, of which 3 we've covered already, but more on that later. Right, we're going to kick the walk off because this is a 4-mile walk, so this is going to take a while, but we're going to do it at a good pace. Now, the actual plaque for the beginning of this walk is where they're currently doing construction, but it's a good place to start here, just outside the King's College campus. This is King's College London and their campus. This is the Morn Library on the Strand campus, so you can start it there, and then as you do, we're going to do this loop on an anti-clockwise direction. Now, like all of these guides, TfL, because it's an official London one, London walk, TfL on their website have got all of the PDFs if you fancy following it. Alternatively, we've saved you the hassle of going to their website, and you can go to our website and go to Guides and Walks and Library, and you will find, ding, one of these on there, which is the route I'm following today. Now, we're starting off, we're in Chancery Lane. I've actually just found the Silver Jubilee walk post, which is a little bit further than we thought. So, Silver Jubilee Walkway Trust, so this plaque commemorates the inauguration of the final section of the Silver Jubilee Walkway around central London, from the Tower of London to Leicester Square, by H.R.H. the Duke of Gloucester, patron of the Trust, on Friday the 14th of July 1978. So this gives you the whole route, and I rather like that. That's a big route which you can then fill in braille, and it stands the test of time, and it's a biggie. So the sections that we've done previously are this one here on the South Bank. We've also done the City of London bit, and we've also done the bit which is over here at St James's Park. So today the bit that we're doing is this bit and we're doing a loop. We are going up, so just where are we? We are St Paul's Cathedral here. Oh, there you go, marks it. This is slightly different actually to the maps. This is more of a sort of not covering everything else and just to make it simple. But the loop we're going to do today goes around here, up towards sort of King's Cross, round down through Holborn, and right the way back through here. And the one we've got left to do is this one afterwards. Okay, so that's where we're looking, with the Thames running straight through the middle. I feel like a weatherman here. Anyway, this one kicks off Chancery Lane. And also, the good news about it is, not only can you get the map, you've got these on the walls as well at the start and at the end, so we're going to be back here a little bit later. So mark my words, we'll hopefully see that again and get that going there. But also, as you go along the walk, you've got these discs. So if you all of a sudden can't see any of these discs after a long time, you're lost. But we're going to use the map on here, and I'll give you some of the bits and talk you through some of London as we're going through. So you're going to hear the rustle of that as we go through. So this is Chancery Lane. That's a very posh provider of men's and ladies' clothes, and around here is a big supplier of the legal wigs and also the cloaks used in barristers. So the big ones. There you go. Excellent. All right, so we're going to go up here to the road at the top. Now, also off down here, it's worth mentioning, of Chancery Lane, you've got the Silver Vault. So the Silver Vault is a place that you can go for free. You can go in, but you're not allowed to video. Although I'm going to have a go at surreptitiously doing a bit of video in future. But you can go along, and all the silversmiths who trade in London have got places down in the basement. Basically, they're all in safes. So each shop has got sort of a vault door to it, which is quite interesting. But you're not allowed to film down there. You can take some pictures. And if you are filming, you should ask permission first. But the silverware is just absolutely incredible. So that's off one of these side roads, which is coming up in just a second. But then also, here we go. This is all round the back of the barristers. So a lot of these are sort of legal buildings where the barristers are. And when this van is gone, I'll give you a swoop round. Here we go, which is lovely. There you go, right the way down there. And on a day like this, doing a walk like this in London is absolutely beautiful. But also, because we're not right in the heart of the West End, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, you really have got the streets pretty much to yourself. There you go. And there's lots of little courts and courtyards off here. So if we have more time, we'll go and have a look at those. And that might be one for future times. Do let us know in the comments down below. Anyway, settle in. Hopefully you've got some food and drink ready for your viewing pleasure. And I think if I remember right, yes, it's here. Southampton Buildings is where it is. And that's the London Silver Vault entrance. Just over there, open to the public. Monday to Friday, 9 till 5:30. So, brilliant. And also, just to prove we're not lost, there we go. I shall show those every so often, just to show that we aren't. Excellent. Right, and as I see over this side, law courts, and then entrance into the law courts through various gates into courtyards. A lot of which you can just walk into. Just do it. They'll stop you if you're not allowed. And it's well worth just going in and having a look and see what they've got in there. So, welcome back. It's good to have you on the walk with us. I can't believe it's probably about 18 months since I filmed the last loop of this. So that was loop number 3, and I think that was St James's Park, and around the outskirts of that, taking in the Mall. Whereas this one is called the Camden Loop. So let's give you, now the good news is it gives you a bit of blurb as you go through. So let me give you a bit of that. As you can see, you've got a cafe here, which is lovely, with open tables and chairs, so you can come down and have a look. Right, so we're now going to do a first bit of negotiation, which all of this big map here is then broken down into little sections, because once again it's all public, which gives you a chance. Gives you a chance to see London. See London beautifully. Now what we're going to do is we'll cut over here. It's a one-way street. And I think going down here. But because they've done it anti-clockwise, and they suggest doing the route anti-clockwise, unbelievably, this is back to front. Which is slightly bonkers. But the good news is they've actually marked where you come over the road. There you are, Silver Jubilee walkway. Done. So we're going down this way. So it looks like they've also put the plaques in line with the direction you should be walking, which is also good. So, seems a bit of a round face. Right. So, there we go. If you're doing the walkway the other way, you're doing there. Right. I believe we should be going down here. Takes you around the back. Yeah, it is. And up onto Bedford Row. Hopefully we'll see some silver discs in a second. As we head on down here. So also I want to do this walking in real time, so it gives you an idea of how long these are as well, if you're doing it at the pace I'm doing, which I am not going to do at a mad pace, don't get me wrong, because it is a hot day. But I just want to give you a feel for how long it takes. So you've got Bedford Row here, which is just behind Holborn, and let's find out a bit more. So let's give you an idea about the walk. So the walk is mainly through the London Borough of Camden, and also touching the City of London, showing off the best of London life. Here we are. See, it goes to show it's pointing in the wrong direction. Oh, we have another water pump. See, look at this stuff. You can love this. So you've got a water pump here, right bang in the centre of the road, which they made into a sort of roundabout. And you can see there going across where they would put the ladder up, where the gas man would have come to light the light. And then you've got the handle of the pump here underneath, and 2 nozzles. So double pump. Lovely. And then over there behind the wall, you've got some gardens as well. Oh, more stuff to have a look at another time. This is rather good, isn't it? Now, the other reason I like doing this, obviously I know West End really well and I know other parts, but London Borough of Camden also takes in Bloomsbury, which is an area we've been to and covered before. But this is a different part of Bloomsbury. Not been to it. Just look at the buildings we've got here as we go through. Now, another thought is if you want to do it and you want to do it quick, you can always get a bike, one of the old Santander bikes, and use one of those and do the route on that. That'll certainly make it a lot quicker. You probably do it in about 20 minutes, I would imagine. Take in lots, but you probably miss bits and the details of London. I just love that. Look at that. And look at that street light here coming up ahead. Unfortunately, doing the building works. If you look at that street light there, with those buildings over there, that looks rather nice, doesn't it? Might even have to use that as a thumbnail. Right, so we'll carry on up here. Let's go back to the blurb and see what it says. Right, so this section starts and finishes at the Jubilee Walk, gate posted outside the Mormon Library, King's College on Chancery Lane. It's also known as the Camden Loop, and this section links the loop of section 1 of the Jubilee Walkway at the junctions of Kingsway and Great Queen Street, and also Chancery Lane, Carey Street. Look out for the Jubilee Walkway discs on the pavement as you go around. We've seen those. So certainly down here, just judging by the lack of people, you've got tax chambers down here. So it's all part of chambers, but you've got different aspects of law by the looks of it. So it's like tax law, tax chambers. This is all Bedford Row, by the way, because it all comes around the corner here. And very posh. That's an architect's, because I can see through the window there. So that's an architect in there. And then as you come through, you then hit more buildings. Now I recognise that block, that grey block there, because if I remember rightly, that's the end of Lamb's Conduit. This is Theobald's Road. And we are just going to head straight up here. So we're going to go over Theobald's Road. But as you can see, it's quite a busy road. So we'll wait for the traffic lights. Okay, now we're back. So we carry on down St James's Street. Now, you might have heard me a little bit confused earlier because I looked at it and I thought, hang on a second, this is all back to front. Probably not helped by the fact I've actually stapled the route round the wrong way. What a plonker. Anyway, now sorted. So let's just give you some info here. So around this area, we're going to pass many terraces, squares and crescents of the 18th century. Not that we've seen any plaques on the floor, but we're definitely going the same way. We have a Brazilian flag. I've got a funny feeling this might be the Brazilian embassy down here. And early 19th century houses, often with fine wrought balconies and railings. So we'll have a look at that. There you go. No, that's just a normal railing, like a lot of these ones are. And actually, some of these houses, just look at those. Actually, let's take the cars out. Makes it even better. I just love the street furniture. Look from the cyclists, thought, are you going to walk it? No, I'm not going to walk it out. I noticed, yeah. And these were built when this area previously been between fields, and it was developed mainly by the Duke of Bedford, hence the many names and streets connected with that family and other wealthy landowners. Now, you can see the Brazilian flag here. Here we are. And it's the Brazilian Aeronautical Commission in Europe. Very nice. There we go. as we look down this road here. Okay, so through the square area here, which is lovely under tree. That looks nice, the Rugby Tavern. And I think, as we go across here, we're then, yeah, going to come down this way. Oh, I love it. Could have put one or two more plaques down on the floor, just to make sure. But then, as we come out from here, we're going to be on Lamb's Conduit Street, which is one that we have done a video on before, because it's just one of those secret little London places that many people don't know of, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's all around the back of Great Ormond Street Hospital and Russell Square and all the rest of it, so it's all around there. Maggie Owen, very nice if you like that sort of thing, sort of gallery. Yeah, depends if you like that sort of thing. And then as we come out onto Lamb's Conduit, we're coming out by Cheese and Wine, which I know was picked up by many people, cheese fiends that watch the channel. There you go, that's there. And then as we swing around,
Hey fellas.
this is beautiful. It's just like all the way around, and you've got this feeling down here of a different community. Old streets, old shops. I'm gonna get off the road because I could hear a car. Even being electric, I don't fancy getting run over. Okay. And then we take this road to the end. So that is the back of Great Ormond Street Hospital. And then we carry on through down to the park. Here we go. Just to confirm, we're on the Jubilee walkway. Yes. We haven't got lost yet. Not that you can get lost in London, but we might make the odd wrong turning. So you might want to download your own version of the map and have that in the right way, as opposed to trusting me to follow the right bit of it. Okay, so next we are coming to Corham's Fields. Now this looks really, really interesting. So we're going to walk around the outskirts of that, then walk through a shopping mall. Yeah. There's a few coffee shops down here as well, which have got to be worth a go. Redemption Roasters have just gone past. Now we won't try that because there's quite a bit of a chain there. But then you've got all these sort of outdoor places, and then you've also got the Lamb, which is good, which is this pub here. And then you've got these, once again, the old buildings. Guildford Place. And I like that, look. Once upon a time they had windows, they bricked them up. Okay, let's go over the zebra crossing. So again, this is Great Ormond Street. But then, over the other side of the road, you've got Corham's Fields. Which is all locked up by the looks of it. Which is interesting. I think Corham's Fields probably belongs to Great Ormond Street. Let's have a quick look. Because they've got a nursery here, and it's only children in there. And everything here is locked up. So you can't get in. Yeah, it's all locked up. No adults without a child. There you go. Allowed in. So basically, this is a child-friendly park. And it says on the gates, no adults without a child. So I'm guessing this is all part of and owned by Great Ormond Street Hospital, which is just here, which is part of the University College London. And that is the big hospital there. Of course, a well-known one. Right, let's continue to walk around, which is why it actually goes round the outskirts, because you can't go through the middle of something you can't go through. That's good, and that's the map. Right. How about that? Sunny day in London. And these are just brilliant for getting to know bits of London that you don't know. They've even got a youth centre there, which is lovely. And then we're going to head down Lansdowne Terrace. There we go. Silver Jubilee walkway disc. And then we're going to head round this way. Now that's interesting. I see a blue plaque. Now we're going to see many blue plaques, some of which we'll stop and have a look at, only because if we don't, could be here for years otherwise. But apparently here, George Orwell, him of 1984 fame, etc. Animal Farm, 1903 to 1950, and Sir Stephen Spender wrote for Cyril Connolly's Horizon magazine, based here between 1940 and 1948, which is empty at the moment and is now part of University College London. There you go, bit of Orwell history. And if you want to see a statue of George Orwell, because he used to work at the BBC, there's a life-size statue of him outside the BBC at their Regent Street headquarters. There's him standing there. Let's see if you want to take a picture of it with the officious guards who see you with the camera and go, oh my word. Right, let's head round and we're going to cross the road, and we have found a park. This is Brunswick Square Gardens, which is open to everyone to walk through. But our walk goes around the outside. This is all two ways, so you do have to watch both ways. And we're going to head round this way. Okay, so this is Brunswick Gardens, and we're going to do a video on that very, very shortly on the channel, because it's got a piece of history in there which goes way back when. But in a second, our route takes us not just round here, but we're going over the Mall as well. There's a Mall just over here, which is called the Brunswick, which is a shopping mall, and we're going to walk right through the middle of that in just a couple of seconds. Plus there's also housing and various other bits and pieces as well. Oh, and a cinema. Huh. Now I wouldn't have known that. This is why I love doing these walks. So let's go straight over there and walk through the middle. So the big area of Brunswick Square Gardens. We're going to go straight over the zebra crossing here. There we go, which is all clear. And then we're going to go up through the centre. Now this is the Brunswick Centre we're going into. And as we go through the Brunswick Centre, go up the stairs. Now I've never been here. And it just goes to show you how vast London is. Because this is an area of London, there's a bit of sculpture work there. This is an area of London I've not been to. But the Brunswick Centre is a modern listed residential and shopping centre complex designed by Patrick Hodgkinson and completed in 1972. This really does remind me of sort of the Barbican area, which again is another video that we've got to create at some point. Because when you come into it, look at it. You've got cafes out in the open, but then as you sort of swing round, you've got residential buildings up there overlooking it all. You've got a shopping area, more residential buildings. Oh, the Jubilee walkway goes through the middle, result. But then as you go through, you've got all sorts of shops, cafes and bits and pieces straight down the middle. Almost warrants a video on its own. And interestingly, what they've got at the end? They've got at the end a Waitrose. But look, you can see the sort of the residences, the flats, etc. up above. Lots with parasols and also flowers hanging off the balconies. So people really taking pride in what they're doing, plus a whole load of different shops and cafes. And I wonder, down here, if there's an independent coffee shop. I wonder what I could film that for. Yes. Right. Which is quite incredible. Right. Then we're going to head out this way and cut straight through. So the path actually takes you through the centre and out the other side. And by doing that, you get a little bit of a taster of the shopping centre and the residence, etc. that you've got. So then as you go past the Boots, and then as you come out the other side, then we do a swing round. Now, apparently, it was a substantial development at the time. Yeah, you can see it was. And it was intended to be even larger, extending up to the Euston Road. And the land itself was never painted due to cost. The building was never painted due to cost. Yeah, you can sort of see that. It's all concrete. Now, never painted due to cost. Yeah, and Hodgkinson had intended the development to be painted to match the surrounding Georgian terraces. So it sort of flicked in and fell and sort of met in with it. But the land also around it up to the Euston Road needed to be developed and released to the Ministry of Defence. There you are. And there you go, round. We've got the Marquis of Cornwall pub. Love it, love a good pub. And we're going to carry on up here towards the Euston Road. So, we continue our walk. And that was the Brunswick Centre. So down here, all sort of different, isn't it? Yeah, it really does remind me so much of the Barbican, where they've put houses, theatre, entertainment, shops, a whole load of bits and pieces. And you've also got the Brunswick, which is an art gallery down that way. There you go. And if we keep walking in this direction, we come to King's Cross, which is a 12-minute walk away apparently. But also I love the fact that you've got lots of little stores. Tell you what we'll do, we'll cross over the road and we'll take some of those in. That once upon a time was a Costa, they're renovating that one up. Oh, Kenneth Williams from the Carry On films. Lived here 1935 to 1956. Oh, matron. Or something a lot better than that. Oh, lovely little area to come in. It's more for the list for filming. You've got lots of blue plaques around here. Most of the people I don't even know, so I'm not even going to do, but the Silk Road, God, that's an eclectic shop. Lovely. Little barbers, something I'll never visit ever again in my life. Mark Ashton, never heard of political and community activist. And as you go through, you've got the Fig and Walnut. The Dulce in London. Right, let's just make sure we're on the right path as we're going down here. As we cross over Tavistock Place. I've got 1 second left here. Just make sure we're going down. This is lovely, nice little area. And a bookshop down here as well. Right, so over, yes, we are. We're going well. Right, okay. So we're going to cross back over the road because I only crossed over so you can get a feel for the shops. Such that we got down here. Let's cross back over because we're going to do a left turning. The Lord John Russell with Crescent Mews there. Hope you're enjoying this one. Can't believe it. It's quite a walk, but taking, oh wow, just look at that. So this is the Harlingford Hotel, and you've got other hotels down here as well, all in that archway around the gardens. Anyway, we're going to go down here, past Norfolk Arms. And then, oh, lovely smell of blossom on the trees. Here you go, you've got more shops down this way. There you go. Oh, looks like a fish and chip shop or a fish and chip restaurant here as well. Fancy getting the nails done. Go up, we've got Norfolk Arms there with, again, 18th and 19th century terraced houses as you've got here as well. Seems to be the theme of the whole walk. These sorts of residences above the buildings above there. Bless me. And then you've got these flats here overlooking the whole area. Lee Street, again with more sort of 19th century, I would guess, to 20th century. Right, let's have a look and see how we're doing. So we're coming out of Lee Street, And as we do, we're going up Judge Street slightly. And again, this is just behind the Euston Road, if you know London. And I can see St Pancras Station off in the distance. So eventually I think we're going to come out opposite King's Cross and St Pancras. So we're going to get the impressive turrets of St Pancras Station, which, well, I must admit, architecturally beautiful, and I'm no architect. Right, let's head over. Then we're going to head down Cromer Street and round. Oh, thank goodness for that. Just to show we're doing the walkway. Now, these discs seem to be all over the place, as in direction. And it would have been good if they actually had them in the direction you're going, so you could actually use it as a sort of wayfinding arrow. But hey, only about 50 years after the event. So as we're going around here, my word, another area that just opens up. Love that. I think that's a school. Underground mural and church there. I don't know whether to walk in the middle of the road like I'm doing now and wait to get run over. Look at that. Amazing. And that's the great thing about this. It really does open up everything. Yeah, King's Cross is only 2 minutes away from here. So we're not far from King's Cross at all. And then we're going to go up the second road here, which is going to bring us out by King's Cross. And just to prove I'm in the right place, he finds a disc on the floor. Lovely. That was a nice little patch, wasn't it? Nice little patch. There you go. And there's a disc there. Sorry about the silhouettes. Can't do too much about that, purely because it's a sunny day. You never know which angle the sun's going to come from. So we're walking around behind, well, quite modern buildings which have been done. These are all residences. And then walking down this area. And in a minute, we're going to come out by King's Cross St Pancras Station. I'm going to do a bit of a loop here. Can you see that there in the background? I'm going to zoom that in for you. That is St Pancras Station. And the sound you can hear in the background is the sound of the police. And also, not just the police, also the fire engines and everything else. So, now let me tell you about this area. This is the Hillview Estate, and it was converted and modernised in 1994 to the year 2000. Now, before that, you would not come down here. Okay? You would definitely not come down here. This was known, God, that house has been left all on its own. But basically, this area was known as being a bit of a den of iniquity. All right, I'm going to say it. Basically, down here, it was all known for prostitution, curb crawling and all the rest of it. So not an area that you'd come down, unless you actually wanted to, or you got lost in London, which unfortunately many people did, and were lost. So that has been completely done, regenerated. The whole King's Cross area has been regenerated. It's unbelievable how beautiful it looks. Just look at that. That is a hotel there. And just look how lovely it's done in the style it's done. And then right opposite and in front, there you go, as we come down the end of this road, you have the tower telling the time just after 3:30 at St Pancras Station. But we'll hit the Euston Road, and as we hit the Euston Road, once we get past this lorry doing something, oh, that's loud. Yeah, it's doing something there. And as we come out, We've got King's Cross Station, which is over here. Let's go to the edge of the road. It's going to be busy. Just to show you how close the two are, but of course they're one station on the underground, because you can come to the two. So you've got King's Cross over here on the other side of the road, which takes you up to the north and basically hugs the west side of England up towards York and towards Scotland. And then over here, more towards the Midlands, you've got St Pancras Station. And of course St Pancras Station also famous, of course, for the start of the Eurostar, which takes you trains into Europe. There you go. Lovely. Right, let's continue our walk. I forgot we're doing a walk, aren't we? Yeah. So we'll continue our walk. So we're now on what's called the Euston Road. Also on the Euston Road, you've got the British Library, which we've covered in previous video. If you notice, I'm not putting links because one, I'll forget where I should have put the link, but two, I'm just going to tell you about them. So if you fancy seeing it, and they've got some of the oldest scriptures here in the UK. Another fun place you can go to for absolutely free, like most of London's museums and big places, because the money is subsidised by the government, and the idea is so it's accessible to everyone. But you've got the British Library over the other side of the road as well, which I'll show you as we dive down Judge Street, which we've just come out of just now. So we're doing a bit of a circuit so we can take in the beauty, really, of St Pancras. And of course that's the hotel, the St Pancras Hotel, established in 1873. Look at that. Now that's one place to stay before you're going on your journey. Right, and then over there, just on the corner, is the British Library. And again, you can go into that for free. Well worth going into. And you've got the Magna Carta in there. One of the original copies of the Magna Carta, dating back from 1215, I think it was. Anyway, very old. Well worth going in to see. In there, in the British Library. Right, our path continues down Judd Street again. So we came over this road a little bit earlier. So we now go down Judd Street. And then as we go down, we're going to take a turning and we're going to go back around that crescent from the other direction where we saw those hotels just a couple of minutes ago. Once we get over this road. So really it's taking in some beautiful sights of London and some areas. Well, this is, as I say, known as the Camden Loop. It's not by Camden, we're not going to go past Camden, just in case you're thinking it. But it's known as the Camden Loop of it. And so it's probably the second biggest of the loops. So as we're walking around here, you can catch our other videos. Now, I'm actually going to put this one into the playlist with the other three, which are the Queen's Jubilee walks. So you can get a view for all of them. And once we've done all five, so I'm going to do the fifth one. I'm not going to wimp out, we will do the fifth one this year. Here, I'm going to go down Hastings Street now. Oh yeah, and I can see the crescent off in the distance. Yeah, we'll put them all together and eventually we'll pull one video together, put the walks in order so you can then follow it all the way around. So you can get a view. But it really is, it's a fantastic way to see London. Like any city, if you know where you're going, sometimes it's so much quicker to walk than it is to go down, get the tube, come back up, etc., take the train. Alternatively, you can always grab a bus, etc. But also, with the bikes around, one of the easiest things you can do is you can just grab one of the bikes and then go cycling round and see these. Once you've worked out on your, get a Strava or something and program the map into that so it tells you which way you need to go. Okay, so we're heading down. Oh, I like that. So this is Hastings Street and this is called Sandwich Street. And Sandwich Street has got the Sandwich Street kitchen. Love it, just look at those. There you go, big crane there as well. Sorry Leslie, I know you love your cranes. Crane watch. Let's face it, London's always building. Right, let's get back to the crescent, which is just in front, which is absolutely beautiful. It's almost like they've done it up recently and they've got it all painted. This is Cartwright Gardens. which we're going to go down the middle of. And all these, or most of these, are hotels. Okay, so we're now walking also parallel with the Euston Road. The Euston Road, as you could tell for the couple of minutes we were on it, was really busy and very, very noisy. Whereas this is just perfect. We're away from it and you wouldn't believe. So you've got another one of those garden squares here with a tennis court in the middle, or four tennis courts, unbelievable, but it's closed up. So the Cartwright Gardens there will be for residents only, or alternatively, those staying in the hotels to use, if you can book it. But yeah, you've got four sort of hard courts here, tennis courts, right in the centre of the road. Amazing, and also a little garden space as well, just there. You've got people knocking up. There's only two of the courts are being used of the four. Worth going down just to sign up and get your tennis court. Okay. Just look at those. Just sweep back. That is amazing. Oh, so many beautiful pictures off the back of this, which you'll be seeing in the community post very, very shortly. There you go, you can get in here. So it's not all closed up, just that earlier part was. So you can go walking through. And a very small area there. Okay, we've just gone past another post on the floor, which is great. So as we go down here, I'm going to cut back up and through. I'm going to come out by Euston Station in a minute. So we're coming on to Burton Street. And it really does, it's fantastic, the theme of these old houses. Look, just down there, as you go through, and as you go round as well, with the pillars, etc. Amazing. Right, we'll carry on the walk down here. It's quite interesting because, and let's cross over the road. Because there's a bit of roadworks going on here. This is all part of University College London, apparently. And then off Burton Street. But what's really interesting is the British Museum, and we're later going to walk around the British Museum. We might even walk in it if we can, just sort of cut through. There you go. And Jubilee Walkway, just so you know we're walking the right way. But where the British Library is now, which we showed you not long ago, actually the British Museum was there. So it was one of those places, and the British Library now has something like 13 million different manuscripts. Well, that's nice. Now, interestingly enough, that's Euston Station just down here, but if you come off the side roads to it, there you go. You get places like this. Very well done. And also, little finds like this. Now, where are we? Just trying to find the name of the road for you. This is rather beautiful. Woburn Walk. This is Woburn Walk. William Butler Yeats, Irish poet and dramatist, lived in this house, otherwise known as Woburn Buildings, from 1895 to 1919. And it's literally little bespoke areas. I've got to do more of these walks because some of the places I'm discovering for the first time. That is just beautiful. And the cafe with the tables in the middle as well. Brilliant. Right, let's head down. As we come out on this main road, we're going to go back up to the main road, the Euston Road, where Euston Station is. There you go, Woburn Walk. Beautiful. I think that's another one we're going to have to come down, do a bit of history on. Right, we're going to cut over the road here, over the zebra crossing. Jubilee Walkway, are you? See, we're following it. This is the Hilton at London Euston, but being decorated. And then come along the Euston Road a little bit, and then we're going to go down the side of the University College Hospital at Tottenham Court Road, which is at the top of Tottenham Court Road by Warren Street Tube Station. So this is Ensley Gardens, and that's church, basically. That is St Pancras Church. See that? With the Waitrose van in front of it. I think it's not moving at all. Anyway, that's St Pancras Church. Why go small when you can go big with massive pillars and whacking great red doors? Why not? Okay, back on the Euston Road. And this is Euston Station. So what's really interesting is, this is Euston Station just behind the trees over here. And literally 2-minute walk, 2 minutes, you've got St Pancras and King's Cross. Now, Euston Station will also take you to the north, but it hugs the west coast of the UK. So it will take you up via Birmingham to Manchester, Liverpool, etc. On the west side, and also into Scotland via the west coast. So you get to the Lake District, Carlisle, and further up towards Fort William, etc. All from Euston Station, which is in those buildings over that way. Okay, now the good news is we're not walking along down here for too long, because once again the road is very noisy. So this is quite a walk, isn't it? But I think by the end of the video it's going to be a good hour plus, especially taking in some of the sights, etc. that you've got, that we've taken in. And here you've got the home of the Quakers in Britain. This is the Friends House. There we go. So it's the Quaker Centre in the UK. Very nice building with its pillars. Although location right here, a lot to be desired. It's very, very busy. Okay. And all this is Euston Station over here. And they're also doing big works to Euston Station at the moment. So Euston Station is also on the Northern Line, but almost beyond the back of Euston Station, you've got Mornington Crescent and Camden. So that's how close we are, because this, remember, is the Camden loop of the walk, as in London Borough of Camden, which a lot of it we're taking in. And we're certainly seeing the sites it's got on offer. That's the brilliant thing about these walks. They were all organised and all plaqued, and there are more to do once we've done the Queen's Jubilee ones. But they really do take you down some fantastic routes and places to go. Right, let's just have a quick look. Where are we going down? We're going down this one? Yes, I believe we are. We are going down Gordon Street. So let's go over the road. Going down Gordon Street? No, we're not actually. It's the next road, which is another reason to have a good look for what we're doing. But also the guide does actually give you a step by step. So if I was actually reading the guide, I wouldn't get misplaced. But I'm not. And do you know why? I'm too busy yakking. Right, so Euston Station over there. If you get to Euston Station and think, oh, I need to get to Euston Square, don't jump on the tube and do it. Euston Square Station is literally a 1-minute walk. It's on the other side of the road, and it's over there. So that's where it is. Okay, now. Do you know what? I did want to go down that route. Just look more at the map. Yeah, that was where I wanted to go down. So we're going to go down Gordon Street. Oh, I was right before. So basically it's hit the Euston Road, literally just to show you the main railway stations as points. And that is the Welcome Centre there. And they always have different things on the Welcome Collection on the Euston Road. Just want to see, you know, they've got Thirst in Search of Freshwater free exhibition till the 1st of February. So if you fancy some of the exhibitions, I can't say this enough. If you want to come to London and not spend any money, or you want to live cheaply, There are so many, and I'm not kidding, so many free things you can do. You can get about on foot. To be quite honest, you can get about on bus. But there are so many different free things to do, of which visiting the Welcome Trust here on the Euston Road opposite Euston Station is another one of them. Just have a look and see what they've got on, what exhibitions they have. Okay, so we're going down Gordon Street, as we did first time and then didn't. And we'll go down this road here. This is UCL, University College London, which is a big university here in central London, mainly attached to the side of University College Hospital, so very medically orientated. And then you've got all the different departments. So that looks like sort of the engineering department, etc. there. And then over this side, you've got the Department of Chemistry. So all the different buildings, different departments belonging to it. Oh, then you've got the Bloomsbury Cafe, where anyone can go in and have a drink. And then they put the money that they make in that back into the student union to help fund the students. There you go, that's a good idea, isn't it? There we go. And then you have what's called the Bloomsbury Theatre, which is here. You've got Rory Bremner on, actually. Yeah, that's the Bloomsbury Theatre. So if you ever get tickets to the Bloomsbury Theatre, it's on Gordon Street right by Euston. So they have different things going on there. So yeah, I'd heard of the Bloomsbury Theatre, but that's where it is. I think the amazing thing about London, and you may well get from the tone of this video, I see so much of it, I film so much of it, go to so many different parts of it. But the other amazing thing is the parts that are on the outskirts, which are undiscovered. And to give you a sense, we are probably 7 or 8 minute walk from Oxford Street. So we're not that far away from there. So that's how close we are, yet we haven't covered this area at all in any of our previous 1,000 videos. Mind-blowing. So it really does just go to show you how many bits and pieces and how many areas of London still to go. So when people say to me, you know, how long can you keep the channel going for? We're just discovering it. And I think today we've just discovered more places to come and film in future as a result of this walk as well. So it's two things. One, doing a walk to keep you entertained and show you around different parts of London, but also discovering so many different places as well. Right, now this is a place that we have done before. I can't remember if it's the first Bloomsbury video or the second one still to come out, but this is Gordon Square. So Gordon Square itself, we've definitely been down here. It's a beautiful open square, so I'm not going to ruin it because we're going to cover that, but also you've got the amazing church here as well on Gordon Square, which is just at the end. We have been in there before and it's phenomenal. This is called it's called Euston Church. But again, you go in and the glass in there is absolutely incredible. It really is. And to just give you an idea, we are that close to Goode Street. It's just down that way and a 1 minute walk. That's how far we are. But we're not going that way. We're going past the Warburg Institute. No, nothing to do with him. And we're going this way. Right, so we're going from Gordon Square and now we've got Woburn Square, which is over here, and we're going through the University of London. Now, this part of the University of London, as we go down by the side of it, this is University College Hospital. No, it's not. Sorry. This bit is, we've gone through that already, the Warburg Institute, and in here you've got the Senate House, University of London. No, I don't know either, but that's what it says. There you go. It's all part of the UCL, and this is Woburn Square. And again, if it's not been featured already, we will be featuring it in our Bloomsbury video. See, so much stuff. Right, The good news is this walk now is going to lead us to Russell Square. So if you're a long-term watcher, you know we did a live stream from here once upon a time ago as well. And we're now sort of heading back. And we're going to be heading back to Fleet Street or Chancery Lane via the British Museum, round the back of Holborn, and also through Lincoln's Inn. If you remember Lincoln's Inn, it's beautiful down there. So that's good. Right, as you can hear, we've got a children's area here as well. But then we're going to go round this way. Yeah, round this way, which is then going to lead us, well, actually, no, straight on down. There you go. Which is then going to lead us around to Russell Square, which we covered before, and then to the British Museum. So, with bits of these places, such as the British Museum, etc., we've been to, and actually you can have a look at the videos, probably one of the most popular museums in London, the British Museum, and again, it's another free place to come to. But if you're going to come to the British Museum and see it properly, you probably need to spend about 4 or 5 days there, because the number of artefacts they've got there are absolutely incredible. I'll give you a bit more of that as we go round there in a couple of seconds. But here, part of UCL, you've got canteens, you've got food places on the square, that's there, and then we're coming round through to Russell Square down here. And that's interesting, is that an old one? There we go. Tree was planted in memory of Elizabeth Kroll, her devoted and distinguished work to SOAS, which was I think the Senate House. There you go. For a scholarship in China. Right. And then also sitting in the middle, we have another sculpture, just in the centre there. There you go. Excellent. Right. But we're going to carry on walking, because I'm conscious this video has shown you so much of London, mind blown, but also there's more to see. Right, so behind the big red door there, which looks very impressive, and we're now by Russell Square, which is good news, so we're out here already, once again showing how close London is, unless you do all of London in one go in a walk like we're doing. That's a school. Oh, and T.S. Eliot, poet and publisher, worked here for Faber and Faber between 1925 and 1965. Wow. T.S. Eliot. And now we're on Russell Square. And what we'll do is we'll walk around the outskirts of Russell Square. And if you're thinking, what is that green hut there? That was originally a cabbie's hut. So it was only open, there was a whole series of them around London, and they were only open for cab drivers to go in, they could go sit and rest, some of them had cafes in, etc. This one here has been open for the public. So the public can go and then get takeaway coffee, food, etc. But a couple of them still exist for cabbies and cabbies only, but it was a rest place for them. Right, so you've got Russell Square, which is behind these trees here. In the sunshine on a glorious summer's day. And then as we get to the end of Russell Square, we're then going to head round to the British Museum, which is around the corner on Montague Place. Enjoying? Really hope you are. Do let us know in the comments down below, and also if you're loving the video and you hadn't done it yet, give us a thumbs up, will you? I really enjoy doing these walks across London, but if there's any way you want me to walk across London, a destination to a destination, let me know, because it doesn't have to be a planned walk, as in one in a series with maps and all the rest of it done by TfL. There's all different sorts of things you can do, so do let us know in the comments, please. Right, and this is the back, okay, of the British Museum. Now it says on here that you can walk through the middle of it. Now I wonder if they're going to get a bit fancy with me doing that, because if you walk straight through the middle, you're going to go through and underneath the amazing awning done by Sir Norman Foster, you know, that amazing glass around the central pillar. And if we can't, we'll just superimpose a picture there and I'll show you what you could have missed. So let's just have a quick look at the map, because the map shows going through this building, this entrance here, straight through and out the other side. But I'm just having a look. Queue doesn't seem to be too bad, so it might be an option. But the problem is, it's great to do the walk, but I'm not sure how much I can film. So, could be one of these things. And this is the King Edward VII's galleries. Yeah, and that stone was laid by King Edward VII on the 27th of June in the 7th year of his reign. Which I think, I can read from that, is 1937. Right, tell you what I'm going to do. We'll do it. I'll video it, but I'm going to video it on my phone. Oh, is there much of a queue? A little bit of a queue to go in. But should we do it? Yeah, come on, let's do it. Let's go in and do.
So we are following the map right the way through the middle of the British Museum. Of course, if not, then you can go round the outside. But the origins of the British Museum lay in the will of the physician, naturalist and collector Sir Hans Sloane, who lived from 1660 to 1763, and he wanted his collection of more than 71,000 objects, library and herbarium to be preserved intact after his death. And then, on the 15th of January 1759, the British Museum opened to the public with visitor numbers of 5,000. Today, it has nearly 7 million and is home to around 8 million pieces of work, let alone extra bits kept elsewhere. So when I was going through security, they got a bit upset because I had a microphone in my bag. Yes, that's what I've been using to talk, but I did promise them I wouldn't use it inside. Hence, I'm voice-overing this piece after. So the good news is, yes, you can come in from one side, go right the way through, and as you can see that statue from Easter Island. And then you can come into this major part, which is the reading room in the centre, but the amazing glass roof, the Norman Foster glass roof that you've got here. Now, it was a hot day, as you could tell, and underneath the glass it's even warmer, but it's well worth coming round and coming through the centre if you can, just to get these incredible views and also some of the artefacts around the outside as well. My recommendation would be see, one, how big the queue is, and of course it depends on the time of day that you do this. If you fancy doing this by night, early morning or late, of course then the British Museum is going to be closed. But what I would make sure that you do is put some time aside if you're coming to London to make sure you get here to the British Museum to come and see some of the amazing things they've got here. Now, when we came in, we also found as well that the reading room was open. And I love that quote by Tennyson there. But yes, the reading room had reopened, which is through that door that the people are, well, just by the right of the screen there. And you can go in and have a look. You can't touch the books. It's all squirreled away for protection purposes. But then, when you've had enough of walking around the centre, just staring at the ceiling and taking in the beauty, don't forget to take in the ceiling here as well. It's equally as beautiful, but completely different. Then you can go out this exit door here, and you're on the other side of the British Museum. Like I said earlier with the British Library that we passed down by St Pancras, this is completely free to come in. So if you're thinking about it and thinking, oh, it's going to... No, it doesn't. It doesn't cost you a single penny. Now, they suggest a donation if you want to provide a donation, but as you're just passing through, just pass through. And then you come out the other side, which is the classic entrance in, which we'll show you in just 1 second, turn around, but it gives you all the pillars, and you come out into the beautiful square here at the front and continue the walk out the other side through the gates of this Queen's Jubilee loop. One thing that I suggest you really do take the time to do is to look back and just take in at this entrance, not just the pillars but the amazing artwork which is across the top of the entrance going in. And to get that beautiful view, just come back a bit and then have a good look round. So that is the walk coming through the British Museum. And well done to the walk creators for suggesting doing this.
So that was an amazing shortcut going right through the middle of the British Museum. Of course, if you're doing it at night, you can carry on right down the far end of the British Museum and sort of do a circumference round to the front and then come down Museum Street, which is where the route goes next. Interestingly, there were no silver discs inside. That was good, wasn't it? Okay. And one of the things I have captured for future, and we'll put it on the short, is the inside of the newly opened reading room. So I think I have to go back there and there's a few bits we picked up from this that I need to go back and do. Right, okay, so we're going to carry on down here, and then when we get to the end, oh, it's a nice little area here. We have been down here before with the Pied Bull Yard, which is just around here as well. And you've got little coffee shops, which are full of people who are hot and bothered after being into the British Museum with everyone else. There you go. 1890, Little Russell Street. Those on the sides of the houses there, all the buildings. Let's go down. All sorts of souvenir shops. And here we're coming out in Holborn. This is sort of the end of New Oxford Street, but this is also where the post building is. And if you have been watching the channel for a long time and you remember it, amazing gold star to you. It's a platform 15 stories up where for free you can go up and get views of London and views across. So that's directly above, and that's up there on that building just above. Okay, so we're down here now, and we're going to continue down Theobald Street, down here.
More money.
Make sure, because all these roads, oh, we're going to go across, hang on a second, yeah, down Theobald Street for a little bit, go over the road here to New Oxford Street. So just on the other side there, you've also got Shaftesbury Avenue. So that's how close we are to the west end. So you've got Shaftesbury Avenue, the top end of Shaftesbury Avenue, and if you know that, that's sort of the Forbidden Planet end. Oh, we've got no traffic coming and nothing coming in the bus stop, which is good, but do be very, very careful because they come at a rate of knots at you. And we're going to continue down here and then take a left turning to go into Holborn. And then once we go into Holborn, we're going to go around Lincoln's Inn Field, which is a beautiful area at the best of times. There you go. Old church, closed up. And then we're almost done. Well, that was a walk, wasn't it? We'll wait for him to go. Certainly not a walk for the faint of heart. It's a long one. But wow, you could do it in bits. So if you fancy it, you could do it in bits. You can get buses between here, there and everywhere. You could do the first part up to King's Cross or to Euston and then grab the tubes around. Which is not a bad idea, not a bad way of doing it. Pied Bull Yard is straight down that way, down the end, and that's that amazing clock that we caught last time when we did that. So we're now heading down, and where are we going? God, I can't believe we're in the final sheet of guidance. There's 4 sheets of guidance, and just to give you an idea, little bits of it, they give you little maps where it's confusing. They gave you a map going right through the middle of the British Museum, and I must admit, I looked at the queue and I thought, shan't I? I thought, do you know what? Let's do it. And I'm so pleased I did. Just go around to see that roof in the British Museum is just amazing. The reading room, as I said, that's the first time I've been in there, and that's been reopened because they've been renovating in there for so long. But we will go back and do a video on that as much as we can. As I said, I've caught a short. There you go. We're in the right place. There's a tag, and my silhouette as well. Great. And this is at Bloomsbury Square Gardens, which we've also featured on the channel before. And then we're now going to pop down Southampton Place. There we go. Which will lead to Holborn itself and right by Holborn Tube. So Southampton Row itself was once a major yeah. Now we're going to have a look at that in a second because it's going to go past the end of the tram route, and if we can, we'll go to the end of the tram route and see where the trams disappeared under the road many years ago before they closed it down, and give you a bit of history on that. It does take you around all sorts of lovely places, and you can well understand why this is a 4-mile walk, just over 6 kilometres in new money. I really hope you enjoyed it, guys. And I must admit, if this is not the longest one, you have to good think about that. Now, let's just have a look. I've got a funny feeling I might have missed it slightly. The map's not overly accurate here. Down. Ah, that's why. Right, we have to go back on ourselves slightly. We need to go further down Theobald Street. But that's okay, because what we want is in sight, and it's just up here in the middle of the road. So what we'll do is we'll go up to the traffic lights, which you can see just at the top here. Next set of traffic lights round, and we'll have a look. So we're now on Holborn itself. This is Southampton Row. And Southampton Row leads into Holborn, to Russell Square, where you've got big hotels. That's why this whole avenue is closed. Right, so originally the walk takes you down Sicilian Avenue, which is a bit of Italy they built here in central London, but it's all completely under renovation. And whilst you can walk down that edge of it, but can you see that? All the columns, etc. But once upon a time that was thriving with sort of Italian eateries. But what we're really interested in is that bit behind the gate. So, there. See those lights and those pillars? Marks the entrance to the tramway. Right, he's not doing anything. Or she's not doing anything because that is full. So we'll go here. Right. And this is what we're here for. Now we have filmed this before. So this is the northern end of the Cross London tram link, which is showing here between the tracks the usual Conduit power supply. So what you've got here is that this used to be the entrance. So we're now standing where the tram went underneath Southampton Row and down underneath Holborn, and that was the entrance to the tram line. But then, look, ding, that's where it ends, and the normal road supply is there. But that's where it was. So a little bit more info on that for you, because I know I've got that on my sheet, because I almost started reading it just a couple of seconds ago. But it's certainly down that way. So this is once a major tram route, and the remains of this transport can be seen at the junction with Theobald's Road, where the old tramway tunnel can be identified in the middle of the street. Too right it can. There you go. Excellent. Well, done. Right, that's Southampton Road, and that is the start. There you go. And you've got these bits here, which they've left, the lights, and the entrance to the tramway. All gated up so you can't go down. They do, actually, Hidden London have done routes, and you can take you down there. But I think when I looked at it, I think it was something like 75 quid or something for the pleasure of going down there. You're not going on a tram, you're just going down and seeing the railway line underneath the road, or the tram line, and the sort of station. And if I remember rightly, the old one, this used to then come out round by Embankment. But anyway, that's many, many years ago. But yeah, so Hidden London. So if you really want to do it and don't mind spending the money, keep an eye on Hidden London, okay? Hidden London, Hidden London. They also do great tours. I've done the one down at Aldwych Station. They also Down Street Station as well, Down Station in Mayfair. There's a number of different ones they do. Well worth taking the trip down there. And our Aldwych visit down to the Suburban Line there is on there. I was on the channel. There's also another one which is at Charing Cross. Because once upon a time, the Jubilee line finished at Charing Cross, and then they built the bit out to Stratford, and they changed the route. So it used to go Green Park and then Charing Cross, or did it? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, used to terminate at Charing Cross many, many years ago. Doesn't go into Charing Cross anymore. So you've got the railway tunnel there, which has been used in various films, including Skyfall, James Bond. Yes, where the baddie, I can't remember what his name is, but anyway, the baddie gets on the train and James Bond is chasing him. That was done at Charing Cross disused station. Right, let's get across the road here at Holborn before I get run over. Ding, ding, ding. And then we're going to dive left in a second because I know I've done it before myself. And then we're going to go into Lincoln's Inn Fields. Let's just look for the sign on it. Yes, just after. So it's just down here. And then we're going to down to that. So there you go, Holborn Tube Station. And then, yeah, I think it's not this one, it's the one after. It's Gate Street. This is where you could do with one of those little discs on the floor just to say you're doing all right. It's quite a reassurance actually seeing those discs, and it's funny because I haven't seen them for ages, but that doesn't mean to say they're not down. It could be a fact that I've not been looking, I've been too busy looking at everything else. As in London, always look up. That's where the discs aren't. Maybe they'll always put them on the walls. Okay. See what I'm going to do. Let's dive down. I'm going to go down Twyford Place. Because if we go down Twyford Place, yeah, I think we're going to come to it down this way. Anyway, I don't think this is the route down, but we're still going to come to Lincoln's Inn Field, which is the next thing to see on our trip. After Shakespeare's Head Pub. That's the other great thing about this, there's plenty of coffee and bars and various other places where you can come to Lincoln's Inn Fields, Twyford Place. There we go, 9 bars, specialty coffee dealers. That sounds good. And we head down, oh yeah, here we go. I just missed it by one road. And then we're going to walk around the square. And this is Lincoln's Inn. Which I think is the second largest garden square in London, the first being Russell Square, which we've been round as well. There you go, all happening. And this is just beautiful in here. You need to catch our video on Lincoln's Inn Fields. Once again, that's in our collection. So lots of these bits we've been to, but we haven't done the walk around them all, and we've discovered a whole load more places today on the video as well. Great. Now, one of the places I did come, which is a museum, but you cannot film in there, and believe you me, they're only like a ton of bricks because they're watching everybody, is on the other side of the road here. That just gives you an idea. There you go. Lovely. And they've got tennis courts, I think, in there, and various other bits and pieces, so it's really nice. But you've also got the Sir John Soanes Museum. Remember him? I mentioned him earlier in relation to the British Museum. Anyway, lots of art and artefacts in there, and that's open Wednesdays to Sundays and most bank holidays. Free entry once again, which is incredible. But the only problem with it is you cannot film. So quite an incredible place with some amazing stuff in there. I think I might have sneaked 1 or 2 photos, but that's it. But we're going to go down to the end here, and believe it or not, about another 2 or 3 minutes and we're at the end of our walk, which feels like we started about 2 hours ago, which probably is in real time because I've stopped here, there and everywhere and had a good look round at things and done other bits. It's lovely, but just look at some of the buildings here as well. Which we've got covered. And I remember that one, 20 to 23, I think it's got something to do with the Canadian Air Force and the war. There's a plaque that we covered in the other video, but I'm sure that is. Just look at some of these buildings, incredible. Big old buildings. And then, as we come around Lincoln's Inn Fields, you then have the courts and the legal courts as you come round. which are quite incredible. Just a sculpture, just happens to be there. They're all leafy. And around here you have, look at that, amazing. And do you know what? I'm going to walk in the road for this, because this is quite special. Even though we've covered it on the video and I've seen it before, it's still one of those things where you look at it and you just think, wow, because it's beautiful. Really, isn't it? Especially with the blue sky and the clouds behind it. That is just a vision of loveliness. That's all that can be said, really. But the video takes it from the other side as well. And you can walk in there. Although it feels like you can't, because there's porters on the door, you can just walk in there. And it's an amazing place just to sit around, especially in the sun with the gardens in there as well. Just absolutely incredible. Once again, it's all the barristers, etc. in there with their London court addresses. And then here you've got London School of Economics, one of their campuses. You've got the Holborn Museum down there, and you've got London School of Economics down the far end there as well, another campus. There you go, and you can just go, there's no private thoroughfare for vehicles, but you just walk through those gates. And this is the back of the barristers down Searle Street. Now I'm not sure if that's the back entrance into the Royal Courts of Justice. I have a funny feeling it may well be. It is the back entrance to the Royal Courts of Justice. Wow, just looked on the map and it actually showed me it. So quite often seen the front part of it, which is historic because lots of people stand outside there when they're taking their cases on the other side. But that's the back entrance in for the barristers that go in there to go and look after their clients. And then when we get down here, we literally turn left and we come out right where we started by Morn Library, part of King's College London. Look at that. Again, with the sunshine on it, back of the Royal Courts of Justice, which people don't normally get to see. And that's the incredible thing about walking around London, is get yourself a little map, or your Google Maps, etc. And you can see bits that other people don't. We're going to go in the shade because it's quite a warm day. Whilst it's only 22, it's actually warmer than that. Well, it feels a lot warmer than that. And I can actually see, just down the road here, about a minute away, the start and finish point. As you walk around the back of the Royal Courts of Justice, which are very imposing buildings. You can actually see the Fleet Street right through there as well, with the taxis going through, which is quite funny. All part of the building. And this is also another one of the back ways in to Lincoln's Inn. That takes you to the New Square. So, where I showed you earlier, and said all the porters are there, that's another back entrance in, which is quite lovely. So, let's cut through to here. So that takes you down to Fleet Street. Last Judgment, which is a pub, which has live music on. And then right over there by the gate, it's right where we started our walk. How about that? So I really hope that's helped. I really hope you've enjoyed our walk around London, doing our, well, 4th Queen's Jubilee loop walk. And funny enough, it was a 4th. There you go. And there's the Silver Jubilee walk. Bang. There. Right where we started. Chancery Lane, right by Morn. There you are. And as if deja vu, let's get that shot again. So I really hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to put a link to one of the other walks that we did as part of the Queen Jubilee, and also a link as well to the playlist with the other 3 walks that we've done so far, and also I'll have all 5 once we've done all 5 walks there as well. So I really hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Hope you've enjoyed discovering bits of London with me, not just me showing you, but actually me seeing bits and pieces as well. And I've got a funny feeling some of those will appear in future videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.